Oh hey, do you have a plant stand that's looking a little plant bland? Then let's flip a plant stand. I can't stand my intros sometimes. Welcome back to Laugh Cry DIY. I am Katie, this is Baguette, and on this channel, it's been about 100 million years since we did a proper thrift flip furniture flip. But I was recently at the thrift store, and by recently I mean possibly 3 years ago, and I saw this little cutie. Just hanging out at $3. And when I saw it from afar, I thought, cool, a plant stand. And then when I looked close up, I realized that this, my dears, is actually not a plant stand. It was actually originally the base for a water cooler. As you can see, totally functional, but it's looking a little shabby, it's a little dinged up. But I've actually kept this bad boy on hand for years, and every time I've looked at it, I've always thought someday I will make it over because someday I will have a vision for what it should be. And lucky for you and me, that day is today. So, let's do it. So first things first, we're gonna clean her, but first we need to deconstruct parts of her because we are going to give her a new face. As you can see, this is like a very petite little stand plate in the middle, and I want something a little bit more substantial that kind of fills out the space. Also, she's just really nasty. Secondly, no matter how many times I have adjusted these feet, they are not even. They're not level. I can't figure it out. When I take them off, the whole thing stands normal and flat, so that's what we're gonna do. Ugh. Also, do you see how nasty those were? Ugh. Okay, now she's sturdy. And we can finally wipe her down. Let's start with this water. And yes, we have just started, and I do kind of already hate this project because this has 4 legs with 4 sides per leg. So you just have to be very meticulous and make sure you're getting every part of it. Now, you can also tell this is from the 90s because it is this orangey, like honey oak color. I had thought a ton about like what I should do with it. I thought about sanding it down and staining it more like a walnut color, but to be honest, I am a colorful maximalist, and even though that's something that people with like class and taste would do, not gonna be me. This piece is physically a minimal piece, and it's about to get really loud and maximalist. See the water? Actually could have been worse, but still not great. Clean water wipe down time. And she's dry. And now it is time to do my least favorite thing, sand her down. As you can see, she is this like I said, 90s honey oak. She has been very well sealed, presumably because she was used to hold water, so they wanted to make sure it was very water safe. But that means I have a lot of shine to get off, and that's pretty annoying. So I'm using whatever grit I have on hand to get that shine off because we're gonna paint her. ASMR. You guys see how gross it is? Yeah. Wipe down time. ASMR. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Now I have to say, something that I hate about myself is that it seems like 9 out of 10 furniture flips I've done on this channel include some sort of framed furniture like this, which means it has multiple sides. I think I've done like at least 2 or 3 like framed metal pieces. Basically just means it's like 16 times the amount of work because you just have to ensure that every damn side of this thing is clean. Maybe that's why I haven't done a furniture flip in a while. I just want to flip one giant solid box. Flip it. Okay, by the way, I just flipped this actually. Has a smaller base, but you could totally flip this and put a large tabletop on top and make a side table. That's not what I'm gonna do, but you could. All right, party people, it's paint time. She's nice, she's scuffed, she's ready. And normally I would do a primer, but because we just scuffed up raw wood, and this isn't gonna get crazy dinged around, we're just gonna go straight in with paint. And that color is going to be a very bold, bright, shocking, wait for it, white. We're gonna start with a basic, simple white base coat, and we're gonna jazz her up after. By the way, something else in life I'm really trying to master is like pouring the amount of paint that you actually need for the project. I always underpour or overpour, and I'm just trying to get better. Is there a rule, guys? I always have like the littlest piece of furniture and I like prepare enough paint for painting a studio apartment. All right, would you look at that? It has magically disappeared. I'm gonna finish up a second coat on this, but we will come back when she is all dry and nice and white. And we're back. This bad boy is white, and it only took 5 coats. Sometimes you should use primer. Now, I knew I wanted to make this bad boy over, and I knew I wanted to do something fun and kind of bold and dramatic. And lately I've been really digging like Jonathan Adler's kind of like strong graphic black and white designs. So I decided that I wanted to do this in black and white stripes. But the most important question was, how thick do we want the stripes? And this is where people, DIY sucks. Because what I had on hand was 1/2 inch washi tape, 3/4 inch electrical tape, and 1 inch painter's tape. And I tried them all on and I was like, it's gotta be 3/4 inch tape, but I only had electrical tape. So did I have to special order 3/4 inch masking tape? Yes, I did. And I already taped this whole thing up off camera. So I'm hoping you can see very subtly all of the masking tape. Was this a pain? Yes. And I wanted to do it right, and it sucks to have to do things right. So pro tip, if you're ever doing stripes, what you should do is you should have your base color, put your masking tape on, and then run that base color along the line and then paint your color over that. That way you end up peeling off a really crisp, clean line. I didn't want to do it, but I did. Now I also had to deal with the top of this bad boy. If you will recall, I pulled off the janky little top that it had. It was only like 8 inches, and it just drove me crazy because I wanted something that totally filled the top here. And I had actually, I'm not kidding, I have probably been looking for maybe 2 years for a perfect 11-inch round piece at the thrift store. Could never find it. So I finally bit the bullet and I just ordered one online. This ended up being an 11-inch round, just simple 1/4 inch plywood piece, which fortunately perfectly fits in there, but was such like a millimeter off that I actually had to like put really small notches in all 4 corners. So just so you know, DIYs always suck. There's always a moment of hell and you always kind of hate yourself for doing it. But I also taped my pattern on the top of this. By the way, another reason I really wanted this to fill the space was because I thought maybe I won't always use it as a plant stand. If I'm entertaining or something, it can also be a really cool cocktail table that I could move around wherever I wanted. So all that said, what time is it? It is time to paint this black. By the way, one of the awful things about taping this all the way I had to was that the masking tape is white, and so I was really losing track of my pattern and design, and that was not fun. And look, realistically, I'm gonna have to go touch things up after, and that's okay. It's just part of life. I've lost the plot, I can't see where I'm painting. Ooh baby, we're back and black. I'm gonna give this a second coat, let this dry, and then we'll be back for the best time of life, which is paint reveal time. Are we ready? Ooh. I'm pulling this when it's not all fully dry. It's good to do so that when you're pulling it all off, those layers of paint don't come off with it. Okay, true ASMR. Ooh. So bold, so dramatic. Ooh, boom. Oh, so cool. I know it does look like the Adidas logo. Okay, I will say I'm very satisfied with my choice of width. I think it was the right call, and I'm glad that I trusted my instincts and had to buy even more tape than what I actually need. Why, God, why? My God, where is the line? If you also want to feel insane, this is a great torture tactic to lose your damn mind. Okay, this is looking good. I'm very glad I went with this pattern. This is very kind of Tim Burton meets Jonathan Adler, but I'm telling you, when in doubt, you really can't go wrong with just black and white. Okay, I think you guys get it. I'm gonna clean this up and then we will come back for the final bit. Okay, we're all dry, and last thing, we just need to make sure that this top actually fits. Please, 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 please. Perfect. And now we've traveled so far together, you have finally earned your final reveal. Well, you guys, I would say this was probably one of my favorite flips in at least the last year. Might have been because it's the only flip I've done in the last year. But you know, I absolutely love reimagining pieces and making them as loud and obnoxious as possible. If you guys like fun stuff like this, feel free to sign up for my newsletter. It is linked below. I send out monthly DIY tips, inspiration. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And before we go, I think it's time for one last costume change. Oh, look, she's so pretty. Cheers, guys.